getting riled up. I could hear them at the end of that. I'm not sure if you could at home, but trust me, here at Gamescom, we heard it. It's down to the final round here. This is the last glimpse, at least for now,
that you're going to
get. So guys, enjoy this one. It's all onto the Ottoman Empire, if I'm not mistaken.
It is
the British Empire picked up the first, then it was a draw. Now it's down to this. This is what it's all about. Look at that gorgeous face. He's ready, he's focused, and we're back into the battle.
This, I think, is where you've now seen these guys on the map twice. We've seen them in the Sandstorm as well. They kind of know everything that there is to know, at least at an entry level now, of what's going on in this map. So you might see some more, maybe risky plays in the final round, especially if the Ottoman Empire do have to take the win. Then, you know, maybe they have to take some risks in order to try and get a few more flags than the British Empire.
Yeah, they're going to have to get off their high horse and get into the battle.
Here are the puns.
You just love the puns. I'm just going to keep throwing them out now. You know what I mean? Like this is my life. Horse puns. I haven't really trained ones yet, though.
One thing I will point out whilst we look at the screen here, we look at actually these Jeeps. It's rather interesting. The armoured vehicle has access to mines that come out. That was a rather funny killer. Oh my God! It happened again. Yeah, the armoured vehicles have access to mines that can be dropped out at the bottom of the vehicle.
Ooh,
Something that
have we seen that yet?
Well, listen to this. One of the players earlier on today tested to see whether those mines would damage the armoured train. Now, the only way that you can damage the armoured train with a mine is that you have to put the mine on the tracks. You can damage the train with the mine.
See, these sort of mechanics is what I love about this, is you see players working out new aspects, and burn, baby, burn. You're seeing the fire coming out, and there's just charcoal everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the barbecue of Gamescom 2016. It's all kicking off. He's going to try and find some cover there. You can see the fire coming back in, but it is heating up here in this final round. The Ottoman Empire is ahead, but by a very small margin.
I think if they don't take the lead significantly early on, they might find it difficult to really feel comfortable in the round, because obviously so many good players on either team. That means that anybody could really change the game at any point. I think you were trying to open the window. I think they were trying to do that.
I just think they were really frustrated. You know, you got to take it out on something, and that window was there, and you're seeing the movement. Now, Anderzel is good at this. I don't want to hype him up too much, but he should be nailing this one, and that's going to be a double if I've ever seen it. He's got to follow up. The pistol comes out. He goes for the melee, doesn't need it. Vikkstar just got punished, and now he's in a good position with this rifle. Another
is he going to go for the third?
Ammo guy, turn around, please. The charge. Oh, my word, that is sick. Anderzel, you are doing the damage. You're doing the work, and that is what we will be seeing this morning. There we go.
The celebratory,
he promised.
Celebratory victory crouch.
Is that what you call it?
I think that's probably what we should call it now.
Technical term.
Victory.
He did promise he would do that if he did something good. So, you know what? At least he keeps up to his promises. But let's see how the landscape is now evolving. What are we seeing at the moment here, score-wise? Who's in control? Who's in the lead?
Well, like I said, if the Ottoman Empire didn't take an early lead, which they have, they might struggle to hold on to this one, but they are now double ahead of the British Empire in a comfortable position at the moment. But as we know in Battlefield, anything can change at any point. We've got 11 minutes left of the game. You know, that's plenty of time for the Brits to come back and do something about it.
Yeah, there's loads of time. There's still trains. Sinai gets flanked on by Anderzel. He was holding that position. He was trying to play hide and seek, keep up to what he normally does, but it doesn't work here. Anderzel's onto you. He's got things to do, and now he's going to follow up some more. Not going to get it that time, though. He gets shut down in the end. That's what we wanted to see there. A little bit of a, you know, he's got to be reminded that he's human at this point. But still, let's take a look at how the landscape's evolving as well, because this is another factor here that, you know, the cover that once stood will be taken away, and already that train station is looking worse than King's Cross at this point.
You can see those two empty carriages there. They are obviously intact and full at the start of the round. They don't provide a huge amount of cover, but, you know, they still stand as structures, and you see somebody using it as cover right there. At the start of the round, they would have been, you know, more beneficial to use, but now it's like sort of looking through a fishing net. You can see straight through it.
Oh, that horse isn't going to be in a good way. Lovely covering fire. Let's see if the sniper can do anything.
Trying to do the lead here on the sniper with the travel time.
But look at the serpentine from the other player. They're going to see those bullets, you know, the tracer fire coming in. They're serpentining like a madman.
He's now... He was using some of that smoke as cover as well. Not sure he knew that, but the sniper couldn't see through it.
He's just a genius. Next
like,
level
if I run over here, he'll never know. But no, and that's something I think that as you play more of Battlefield, you will start to learn some of these higher level tactics. I mean, I'm not saying Serpentine is a high level tactic, but you know that it's going to make it a lot harder for the sniper with his rifle to hit you, or if you run behind cover, or if you know there's some smoke there and you use that as cover.
Well, especially on maps like this, there's things called silhouetting, and it's more classical to maybe even other games, but you do see it in Battlefield on occasion. But here, on this sort of environment, you're going to see that very arid terrain in the background. If you silhouette over the top, if your player, the complete body, shows up against this blue sky,
Yep.
you're going to be a very easy target. You've got to run against
Extreme.
those deflates, you've got to use the terrain to your advantage, and you're going to be seeing these guys trying to make a mad dash towards that C point, try and get back over there, but there is no rest for the wicked.
There is not. I mean, we're seeing a lot of action on this map around the infantry zone, and something that we haven't seen, and I don't know, maybe this is just the people that are playing, but we haven't seen a huge amount of footage of the middle of the desert objective, the E point. And that's something that maybe we could get a good look of later. I'm not 100% sure. It would be nice to look at that, just so that you guys at home can have a good overview of the whole map.
Yeah, and actually, just in
Here
case,
we go.
there it
As
is.
if by magic, you know.
Little oasis out there. It's
So this is right in the middle of the desert. It's about 500 meters from the other objective. So it's a long way to go. And if you look at all the cover that you've got there, all of those sand dunes,
Yeah.
that flag there is perfect for a tank battle. That's probably going to be the flag where you've got tanks coming in from one side on the Ottoman Empire, tanks coming in from the British Empire, and they're going to meet at that flag and fight over it for the entire round.
because at the moment, that's been a free pickup for the British Empire. They've had that in
Yeah.
their pocket for as long as I can remember. They haven't been particularly challenged. Now, actually, again, just in case people are new to Battlefield, what is that sort of gun we saw there? Not necessarily a gun. What does that sort of serve a purpose for?
I think what that was is the spotting flare. Now that is available to the scout class as a gadget, and if you pop it up over an objective or anywhere in the map, it will show up the enemy locations on your mini-map. It won't show them up on the screen in front of you, it will show them on the mini-map. And that's obviously a very helpful tool for not only you, but the rest of your teammates who are in that location. And obviously they've then got to go and find that person. They could be on the third story of a building, or they could be on the bottom, you don't know, but you have a general idea where that person might be.
All right, so let's check it back with the tickets, how the whole battle is now evolving and going forward and how it's got to this point. The Ottoman Empire
They
is
were
actually in the lead.
Yeah, they're in the lead.
Not
but
by much.
Their lead is not as big as it was. The British Empire have reduced it somewhat, and now the armoured train, I believe, has been given to the British
It has.
Empire. So the Behemoth is going to the team that are losing currently. They're only 10 tickets behind, which is not a massive amount, but could that armoured train just sort of be the key to push them back into the lead?
Well, let's see if it, for one, helps them stabilize having control over the train station as a capture point. That's what I'm be looking at, is how much does it feed into it. You can see the train station is going back and forth here. The snipers, though, are looking in their direction. You know that this cover is absolutely vital for Anderzel. He's going to be playing this as best he can. Deals
That was
the
when
Rhino.
he used a
Look at
tiny
that
little
face.
box to defend himself from a player on a horse. That was absolutely fantastic. That there was a really good piece of use of cover.
There we go. Now the horse.
See the
will be
horse?
left.
See the horse is just there. It's ready for anyone else to take.
And you can actually see that on the map itself as well, can't you? It shows up as an icon, so you know where they're available, if someone's on them or not.
It shows
actually
up
shows
as,
you.
I think it's a little horseshoe, isn't it?
It
It shows
is,
up
yep.
on the mini-map in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, the armoured train, as you can see, is on the right-hand side of your screen up at the top there. You can see it started to take damage already, coming down to about 80% health. It does have a massive amount of health, but like we were saying earlier, those explosives will do quite considerable damage against it. Looks like we're using the rocket gun here. I don't know if we're near the train at this point, because the rocket gun would be a really effective tool to use against it.
Yeah, I've seen Drunks trying to do that before when I think it was, shoot on the other foot, but I don't think
Yep.
he needs to be doing that right now. Let's see what damage comes in towards that train. Again, let's remind ourselves, when that train did come into play for the British Empire, they're around 70, 69 points. So you can already see it has had an effect on this, but it is being countered, it's being pressured, and the Ponyline HD is doing what he does best, already coming in with a good bout of damage there, really chipping away at it, and it's creating pressure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if he's up in the sky all game, obviously you're going to be focusing on the other planes, but as soon as that train comes in, he's already got it in his head. He knows what he's supposed to do to get rid of it. And at the moment, even though they've had the train for about a minute or so, the British Empire haven't really done a huge amount with it yet.
Well, they haven't taken the lead. That's the main thing. They've closed the gap. However, the HP is starting to dwindle. It's not looking so healthy here. They're still not getting much done. They have secured the train station point. So it gives you that as a back, a little bit of a back piece, a chest piece in your pocket almost. But if they could maybe go and capture the one all the way down there towards the west, the very deep west, that would be brilliant for them. Maybe follow up towards F. They have options available, but still 9 tickets in the lead here for the Ottoman Empire. They have the advantage, but it looks as though that one is done and done for. The smoke plumes and the train, well, comes off the tracks.
Yeah, I mean, that cover's not going to be any help to anybody there. It died in a part of the map that really is just complete open desert.
Yep.
So that cover we were talking about earlier, it's just not going to be available. And if we look at the score again, the British Empire are still 10 points behind. So that train, they didn't use it effectively enough. They didn't get to the objectives, they didn't take it. And therefore, they've now lost their chance with the Behemoth. That was so close to being such a good kill. That was so close.
Tag. All tag, no frag. That's not fun. That's not fun. But looking at the points under wraps right now, the one thing we'll say is it's a big difference in the way the teams are focusing this. So the Ottoman Empire is taking out the deeper points. They're going into that desert. They're going to go exploring. They're picking these points up and putting them in their back. Now, on the other side of things, the British Empire have been kind of going for the skirmish. They want to take the flags in that inner city. Now, they're not as stable to control. They're much easier to contest. Hence, well, at the moment, we're actually seeing the Ottoman Empire still in the lead.
We are still seeing them in the lead. And as we know, if they don't win this round, then, you know, all the spoils do go to the British Empire, having them won the first round and then a draw in the second round. Most unlikely of events.
Yeah, it would be the comeback of the century if it happens. We'll see if it does after that draw.
It would be a share of the spoils because then only one team has won one game.
Yeah, and it's all about pride here, let's be honest. These guys
I don't think anyone wants to share the spoils. It's, you know, it's on the British to actually go ahead and win this. The gap is still at 10 tickets at the moment. That must mean it's, even with the tickets now being 10 apart, it's a very even contest then, because we're not seeing any reduction or increase in that difference. So maybe the start of the round, the Ottoman Empire had the advantage, but the British have pegged them back a little bit, but they haven't really done much more to sort of get ahead.
Yeah, it's one thing to even it up. It's another to keep it and then, you know, turn it to an advantage. It's not easy to do it. You have to weather the storm, not just once, but the reinforcements when they come through, take down these squads back to back, and the horse mounting looks awesome.
That was a lovely animation. That was great.
Really cool.
I was just like, I haven't got time to sort of get on it properly, so I'm just going to jump on it.
And it looks like the weather again is turning here. You can see that sand being pushed across the screen. It's not a clear day, let's say, here out in the desert. It's getting a little bit hectic. Now, last time, actually, it did help out. For some reason, the British Empire, I don't know why, that seemed to help them a little bit more. Who knows, but already not going to go well there for one of the players. But this is very, very close at this point.
I can't see the storm coming in. It just looks as if there's an increased amount of wind, which is kicking up some of that dust, making it a little bit harder to see at longer ranges.
But let's take into account what we're seeing right now. Finally, we have the British Empire actually taking more flags than the opponent. They did for a little while. They had 4-3 and a little bit of a contest between the two, and already a little bit of a fly around here. Looking to see what happens. And Drunks, again, going to try and find some sort of work. Suppressing fire going to come through. He knows he's got to kind of pace himself with that sort of firing range, but his teammates are going to do the job for him. And at the moment, the Ottoman Empire is still in the lead.
The British have reduced the ticket difference now to about 8, which means they've made a little bit of progress. But with only, I think that's 1 minute and 48 seconds now, that's still a rather large gap to have. But the British Empire do have control of 5 of the 7 objectives.
This could be it. This could be enough. You can see, even in the chat, they're cap flags. They're trying to get these guys, stop taking the needless battles, get on those points, get those flags in our favor, because we need this right now. The kills don't matter like they do before, not to the same extent. They don't affect those tickets like the flags do themselves. That gap is closing. We're down to 4 here.
We are
Westy,
down to
this
4.
is going all the way again.
We've got 1 minute and 20, and the gap is now down to 4, sometimes 3 tickets when looking at all 7 on the screen. It's so unlikely to even get 1 draw, but could we see the possibility of 2 draws in a row?
4-3 again.
Now that's
the British
2.
Empire has
That's
the upper
2.
hand.
Now back up to 3 again.
And B's being contested, so that means they don't get the points for it as they would having 3. No. So again, this is going to come down. What's the time limit right now? We've got 55 seconds remaining. The fire's coming out.
2 tickets.
Look at these tickets. They are closing in again. This is down for the wire. This could be a 2-0 for the British Empire. If they pull this off, it would be the comeback of the century already. Not what you want to be doing with that gas mask. There we go. Put it on. Get into cover. And
oh, dear.
Oh, my word. What are you doing?
That was a big mistake.
That was not good.
We are down to the last 30 seconds of the game. The tickets are still just a gap of 2 or 3, depending on what flags are being capped. If we can look at the flags on the screen, you've got 4 of them on the British Empire, 3 of them over with the Ottoman Empire, and lots of them being contested all the time, which is why I think we're still seeing the gap. It's down to 1. 1 ticket. 10 seconds to go.
This is what it comes down to. We need to get into the game to see this. 9 seconds, 8. The music's kicked up. The Ottoman Empire is in the lead by 1 ticket right now. The British Empire need 1 more.
It's even.
It's even again.
It's even.
We're going on a draw. Oh my God. No, they got the